Attitude. Jerry is one of those people you just love to hate. He's always in a good mood and always has something positive to say. Whenever anybody had asked Jerry how he was doing, he'd always reply, "If I were any better, I'd have to be twins." He was a unique manager. He had several waiters who followed him around from restaurant to restaurant. The reason the waiters followed Jerry was because of his attitude. He was a natural motivator. If an employee was having a bad day, Jerry was there telling the employee how to find the positive side of the situation. Seeing this style really made me curious, so one day I went to Jerry and I asked him, "I don't get it. You can't be a positive person all the time. How do you do it?" Jerry replied, "Each morning I wake up and I say to myself, 'Jerry, you have two choices today. You can choose to be in a good mood, or you can choose to be in a bad mood. I choose to be in a good mood. Each time something bad happens, I can choose to be a victim, or I can choose to try to learn something from it. I choose to try to learn from it. Every time someone comes to me complaining, I can choose to accept their complaining, or I can point out the positive side of the situation. I choose to find the positive side of life." "Yeah, right," I said. "It's not that easy." "Yes, it is," Jerry said. "Life is all about choices. When you cut away all the junk, every situation is a choice. You choose how you react to situations. You choose how people affect your mood. You choose to be in a good mood or a bad mood. The bottom line, it's your choice how you live your life." I reflected on what Jerry said, and soon thereafter I left the restaurant business to start my own business. We lost touch, but I often thought about him when I made a choice about living life instead of reacting to it. Several years later, I heard that Jerry did something you're never supposed to do in the restaurant business. He left the back door open one morning and was held up at gunpoint by 3 armed robbers. While trying to open the safe, his hand shaking from fear and nervousness, it slipped off the combination. One of the robbers panicked and shot him. Luckily, Jerry was found relatively quickly and rushed to a local trauma center. After 18 hours of surgery and weeks in intensive care, Jerry was released from the hospital, fragments of the bullets still in his body. I saw Jerry about 6 months after the accident. When I asked him how he was, he replied, "If I were any better, I'd have to be twins. Hey, you want to see my scars?" I declined to see his wounds, but I did ask him what had gone through his mind as the robbery took place. "Well, the first thing went through my mind was, I should have locked the door," Jerry replied. "Then as I lay on the floor, I remember I had two choices. I could choose to live, or I could choose to die. I chose to live." "Weren't you scared? Did you lose consciousness?" I asked. Jerry continued, "The paramedics were great. They kept telling me I was going to be fine. But when they wheeled me into the emergency room and I saw the expressions on the faces of the doctors and nurses, I got really scared. You see, in their eyes, I read, he's a dead man. And I needed to take some action." "What could you possibly do?" I asked. "Well, there was this big burly nurse shouting questions at me," said Jerry. "And then she asked if I was allergic to anything." "Yes," I replied. The doctors, nurses, everybody stopped working as they waited for my reply. I took as deep a breath as I could and yelled, "Bullets!" Over their laughter, I told them, "I'm choosing to live. Please operate on me as if I'm going to live and not as if I'm going to die." Jerry lived thanks to the skill of the doctors and nurses, but also because of his amazing attitude. I learned from him that every day we have the choice to live fully. Attitude, after all, is everything.